Money. We all have it and we all use it. But where did it come from? And what is money? In this video, that is what we will be answering. Money often has no intrinsic value. Instead, money is an object that has value placed on it, which allows for goods and services to be traded. Metal coins have actual value in terms of raw materials that are used in the coin, while paper money has no real value. Before money was invented, people bartered and traded for goods and services. This was the common way until around 5,000 years ago when the Mesopotamian people created the shekel, which is considered the first known form of currency. Gold and silver coins date back to around 650 to 600 BC when stamped coins were used to pay armies. Bartering date back to 6000 BC when Mesopotamian tribes introduced the concept to the Phoenicians, another ancient tribe. Items like food and weapons were traded in the absence of money. As time went on, bartering evolved into pelts, crops, muskets that were traded in the new colonies in the Americas. The first metal money date back to 1000 BC in ancient China. These coins were made from stamped pieces of valuable metals like bronze and copper. Other forms of early metal money were used by the Greeks around 650 BC. Over time, the coins would evolve into silver and gold, like what we associate with money today. Coins were a big milestone because they let people pay by count instead of by weight. In about 500 BC, the first round coins were created and stamped with gods and emperors for authenticity. In 800 AD, Charlemagne issued the silver penny, which was the standard coin in Western Europe from 1947 to 1200 AD. By the mid 13th century, the shilling and pound became widely used to describe larger amounts of pennies. The first paper money was created in 700 to 800 AD, but it would be a long time before it would be commonly used. The first country to use paper money was China, but it was only used until about 1455. The lighter weight of paper money allowed for international trade, which created some problems: distrust, currency wars, and also allowed for many opportunities. The ability to trade in new places for new goods. After China stopped using paper money during the mid 15th century, coins once again became the popular form of currency. Bills of exchange have become a common part of the world economy. A bill of exchange is essentially a written order that one person or group will pay a specified amount of money on demand. The first banks were started by the Roman Empire around 1800 BC. The banks accepted deposit from individuals and also gave them loans. These banks would disappear with the collapse of the Roman Empire. By the 19th century, banks had become respectable organizations and have learned the concept of fractional reserve banking. Since individuals did not withdraw all their money at once, the banks learned that they could loan more money than they actually had. This led to a huge step in the history of money. In 1816, gold became the standard currency of England. This means that each banknote represented a certain amount of gold. Because of the tie with gold, this meant that only a certain amount of notes could be made. In 1900, the United States followed suit by going on the gold standard as well. This led the United States to create the central bank. The gold standard left Canada in 1930 due to the depression and devaluation of gold, and the US left the gold standard in 1971 to try to stop inflation and prevent foreign nations from overburdening the system by redeeming their dollars for gold. A debit card is loaded with a set amount of money from your bank. This money leaves your account after each purchases you make on the card. Credit cards, on the other hand, do not carry a balance. Instead, credit card lenders choose the amount of credit limit they allowed on your card. You are only permitted to spend up to the amount on your credit card limit. The credit card was issued to consumers in the 1920s. The credit card was the most common way of paying in the United States in 2020. Online payments came with the internet and the e-commerce boom. Online payment was the most popular way to pay for services and goods over the last few years. The most common way people paid online is with their debit or credit card because of the quick transfer of money and the ease of payment. Payments can also be made using a bank account number and a routing number, but that process can take several days. In the 90s, digital currency tried and failed to get off the ground, but in 2000, things have changed, allowing it to grow in popularity and becoming more widely used. These currencies, also known as cryptocurrencies, have a value assigned to them just like any other type of money that we use. Bitcoin was one of the first and biggest forms of digital currencies. One of the most significant aspects of human history is money, which has influenced some of the biggest and most significant events over several countries. This creation of money made it possible for individuals to transact in products and services without having to haggle over price. Paper money's lightweight and tiny size made it possible for trade on a global scale. People can invest in potentially increasing currencies with digital currency and making more easy financial transactions. Some of the most important advancements we made in human history wouldn't be possible without money.